Peace. Assalamu alaikum. Namaste. Hotep. Jambo. Ashe. Shalom. Shalom. All the greetings of love and light to the darkest minds of the light. I am Napashada. Thank you for listening. If you're listening to the live, thank you. If you're listening to the playback, thank you. Please hit the like button. Please share this. So let's get started. I'm thinking about what happened on the 10th to Charles Kirk. And they're trying to convince us that they, meaning those who are orchestrating all of the chaos, Hegelian chaos. Anyway, Hegelian dialectic. We know what that is, right? Peace, Benita and Caleb. So listen to me, everybody. I'm sitting here and I want to let you know it is time to sharpen up your antennae and get tuned back in to looking deeper. Now, the darkest mind's the light. You already do it. But what is happening are big lies. Big lies are being told to us, allegedly. Big lies are being told to us, it seems. This young man's life was taken at a rally. A sharpshooter, a very skilled, high-level sniper, a high-level marksman with precision hit this Charles Kirk exactly in the carotid, the area of his carotid artery, from over 200 yards away, through a crowd of hundreds and hundreds of people who obstructed the view of Charles Kirk, and an awning covering. And I'm supposed to think that it's a disgruntled social media person, 22-year-old guy who was just upset about Charles Kirk's views. No, we're going to uncover some of this, if not all of it. We are being lied to. We are being lied to. Number one, nobody's leaving a weapon in the grass after committing this type of crime. That was a high-level professional marksman who assassinated Charles Kirk. It wasn't a 22-year-old disgruntled student, liberal student. What is happening is the MAGA camp, Trump, and his people realized that there was civil war going on within the group. People were asking too many real questions. Where are the Epstein files? People within the group, where they started to ask the FBI, wait a minute, you told us that there were Epstein files. Now that you are in the Trump administration, you're telling us that there aren't any Epstein files? People within MAGA, the Trump supporters, Candace, you were leading. Candace, stand up for your friend. This is not a time for everybody to come back together in the Trump MAGA camp and act like this is about a bipartisan issue. This isn't about liberals versus conservatives. This is about murder of a young father. Whether I don't care about his political views. What I see is Americans will be, in the eyes of those who orchestrate this chaos and this crime, we are expendable. What has happened is a trauma imposed onto the public right around the same time that the 9/11 trauma was imposed onto the public, when we were disappointed with the Bush administration. This man, Tyler Robinson, is a patsy. If you don't know what a patsy is, find out. We've seen it many times before. Start digging, go deeper. Charles Kirk didn't know it, but he wasn't a friend to Trump. He was a threat to Trump. Young, conservative, attractive, white male with a beautiful, attractive white family. He had president written all over him. People say, well, why would Trump be worried about that? He's already serving his second term. Trump doesn't want to just be president for only a second term. Stop playing. He wants to be like Putin, whatever you say his name, Putin. He wants to be a dictator. He's looking for ways. So let's break this down a little bit more. No pun intended, because I'm about to say these rifles can unscrew. You can put them in a little tote bag. The type of rifle that was used, if it was a rifle at all, stop playing in our face. It could have possibly been a drone. We know that the government does drone strikes. It was made very public with the Obama administration, but it's not just the Obama administration. Don't stop playing in our faces. A rifle found in a grassy area. They're playing in our faces when they say that. Grassy knoll, rifle, very reminiscent to what? JFK and Robert, oh my God. Robert Kennedy, his brother. See, they keep on showing us Charles Kirk being assassinated. Why are they not keeping that from the public like they do everything else? Because they want us to be traumatized. And now Trump is talking about we have some very sick liberal people. No, Negro. You know you don't. No, you're not going to put that out there. You're a liar. This was an inside job. This was friendly fire. Friendly fire. He was taken out by the ones that he thinks that he loves. That's what happened to Charles Kirk. So now MAGA can start to try to come back together, take the focus off of Epstein, take the focus off of all the lies that Trump has told, take the focus off and start pointing fingers toward the Democratic Party, the liberals. No, America, it doesn't matter. Democrat, Republic, we're being taken out for the good of Trump and for his prosperity, for him to go forward and everything that he wants. That's what we are being used for. And if he can take his golden boy out, his golden child out, what do you think he will do to the ones he doesn't find worth a pot to piss in, which is you and me? You see how many people who were destroyed in the Twin Tower attacks? Or I shouldn't say not attacks, excuse me. Destroying of, I got to be careful what I say. Hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people, innocent Americans. We reject the lie that a 22-year-old kid that didn't like the talking points of Charles Kirk was skilled enough to be 200 yards away and hit his carotid artery through a crowd of hundreds of people and an awning covering. I don't think so. We see the signaling done with the cap, with the touch of the bill of the cap and the cross of the arm, allegedly. We see these things. We see them. We know. Nobody's leaving a rifle with engravings of, if you're reading this, you're a yag. That's what they're trying to tell us. They are playing in our faces, America. How much more do we need? How much more do we need before we say, nope, we reject it? We're staying on track with our focus, and now we see that you unalived an American who you say is your golden child. So you're monsters, just like we knew you were. We already know you're monsters. You unalived one of your own because that person actually didn't know it. He was a threat. So he had to go. He was a threat. He actually had a decent, he was a decent person. Yes, I am a Black woman. Yes, I know his talking points, but he was a decent person. I didn't agree with what he said about abortion and school shootings. I don't, of course, those are things that happen with content creators. Look at what we do ourselves. Look at what Sonnetter does and says. We have strong positions. We're either hated or loved, but we aren't people who don't love and care about people genuinely. That's what we do. That's what Charles Kirk started out doing. He wasn't speaking for my people. He was speaking for his people, and he thought he was speaking for all people. Do I like his position about slavery and reparations? Of course not. But I got to stay focused on what happened. He was brutally unalived by the people who he was fighting for, Donald Trump's administration, and beyond Donald Trump's administration. This goes beyond. The cabal is bigger. The octopus is way bigger than the Donald Trump administration. I'm not telling you to go out and fight the power and activate. I'm talking about know what's going on. Keep your eyes open. Dig deep into the dark so you can get to the light. Shout out to the darkest minds of the light. You got to dig. You got to get past the surface. So, like I said, I don't want to go too long with this, but you got to look at the esoteric, the symbolism. I haven't even looked at it deeply, but I'm sure that if you look at, I want you to keep your eye on Robert F. Kennedy Jr. I want you to listen to the things he will be saying, what he said immediately after, and what he will be saying in this case with Charles Kirk. I want you to look at the name Tyler Robinson, which Tyler means builder. We already know Mason. Yes, I'm not saying Masons are evil because I have Masons in my family. Freemasons, I mean. So Freemasonry, I'm not saying evil, but there are corruptions and twisting of that particular order. So the name Tyler means builder, Freemason. It actually means builder. The name Robinson also means Robert, ties to Robert F. Kennedy, who was assassinated in a similar way. Robert F. Kennedy Sr. was assassinated because they didn't want him becoming president. JFK had to go because he wasn't following, he didn't want to do what they wanted him to do. I don't want to get into about the Bay of Pigs and Cuba and all that. He had to go. Don't forget John F. Kennedy Jr. He was similar to Charles Kirk. The people loved him. He was young. He was definitely on the road to becoming one of the world leaders, which is the United States president, but he wasn't part of the club. So he had to go. He had to go. Okay. These old, dusty, crusty, corrupted, perverted baby eaters like Epstein and Trump and Biden and Clinton and the list, the Bushes, all of these disgusting, creepy-handed members of this cabal. This is my opinion, by the way, YouTube. Allegedly, in my opinion. All right. All of these people, everybody doesn't have access to the crown like you think they do. Just because you're white and male and have a nice white family and handsome and Christian, that don't get you into the boys club. It's not a boys club. It's a creepy golem club, a club of I don't even want to say, a club of vampiros, vampires, werewolves, baby eaters, stalkers, predators, cold sea creatures from the deep. That's who they are. Charles Kirk wasn't one of them. And we found out when they opened up his neck during that rally in Utah. And now we're supposed to believe that the builder, Tyler, did it, a 22-year-old who left a rifle in the grass. See how they do that? Left a rifle in the grass with engravings on the bullets and on the rifle. If you read this, you're yag. I reject you. I reject you. I reject your lies. You ain't even taking the time to try to really put the lie together anymore. You're laughing in our faces. You're laughing in the faces of those who see past the lie. Because you're like, it doesn't matter, because the masses who are asses will believe it. But it only takes a few of us to stay strong and hold. Remember on the movie Gladiator, when Marcus Aurelius was like, hold to the other gladiators. We have to stay strong. That we are not as strong as they are, but when we stay together and hold, we're a force to be reckoned with. They can't take us out when we stay together and hold. Now, we will not fall for the banana in the tailpipe like they did. They tried to pull the wool over our eyes with 9/11. I saw personally 9/11 being planned, but that's a different story. We're in danger. We're in danger when we speak up. When we press back and when we push back, we're in danger. But whatever, we're in danger when we don't press back and fight back. So we might as well fight back, right? When I say fight back, I don't mean go out and start acting a complete donkey, looting. No, I mean keep your eyes and your ears and your mind open and clear. Look past the lies. How ridiculous. A 22-year-old student, over 200 yards away, sharp shooting to the carotid artery through hundreds and hundreds of people standing around in front of the man, the speaker, and an awning. No, don't play with me. I don't even think, to be honest, I don't even think it was a sharpshooter. It could have been a drone. And now they're high-fiving. Oh, the FBI worked so fast and we're so great. And we want to praise Donald Trump. Praise him for what? First off, he saw the same video we saw. If he was innocent, he would have never tweeted 7 minutes after that man's neck was opened up and the blood was flowing out. He would have never tweeted, pray for him. You know he was unalived. You would have been a leader and sat silently and said, what are we going to do? And then you would have organized a decent state of address. But you did. Donald Trump doesn't do real presidential state of addresses. Of course he does, but he doesn't do them like a professional. He's always on social media being a narcissist. Now, I was going to say the last name Robinson, the name Robin is actually a derivative of the name Robert. It means shining star. Shout out to my sister Robin, Sister Freedom. Oh, and happy birthday to Dots. I think it's her birthday today, but I digress. Robin means shining star. Now, I'm not saying you're Lucifer, Robin, but I'm saying that also in their eyes, that goes to Lucifer, meaning actually Robin is a Lucifer. We're all Lucifers because we're shining lights. I mean, when I say we're all, I'm talking about the ones who are the darkest minds of the light. I don't mean all of you, but they want to them to be called a shining star. That is a compliment. So there's hidden messages in the name that they use for this alleged assassin, Tyler Robinson, the builder, the Freemason, the Luciferian Freemason. That's what his name actually means. The shining star is the Lucifer, and the builder is the Tyler Robinson, Freemason Luciferian. They're letting each other know. They're signaling to each other, yes, this is our work. This is our signature. This is our stamp. If that's a flex. And then if you even look at Charles Kirk in his name, Kirk means the church and Charles means great. The church is great. And then they say, oh no, the church is not great. The cabal is standing over the church. The Luciferian builders, the orchestrators, the manipulators. This is all information you could research on your own. Keep your eye on Robert F. Kennedy Jr. I'm not saying he's doing something or a part of it. I'm not saying he isn't a part of it, but I am saying this. Let me think. You got to keep your eye on him for information to decode the things he might say. You're going to look there. He might not even know that he's saying something. He might have had a speech written for him and they're putting messages in there. Do not fall for the whole Trump MAGA against the liberals. This was an unaliving, an inside job. This was friendly fire because MAGA was hurting. We're staying on your neck. No disrespect or pun intended to Charles Kirk. We're staying on your neck when it comes to this Epstein stuff. Where is the file? And even if you don't want to bring the file out, we already know that you were very close with Epstein. Not just Donald Trump, the entire cabal, the entire group. Don't forget PIZZA gate. YouTube, stop playing in our face. We know that you are, controlled, talking about fake news. No, baby. No. How did somebody get sued $1 billion for free speech? I'm talking about you know who I'm talking about. You know who I'm talking about. I'm not going to say his name. Alex. How does someone get their whole throat opened up for free speech? Stay vigilant, my friends. Okay, so that's all I have to say for now. Keep your eyes and ears open. This man is not a sniper. This man is not a shooter. He may be brainwashed, another Manchurian candidate, but he is definitely not the person who did this. There was a group of people who did this. The men standing behind Kirk, this is my opinion, possibly could have been a part of it. They could have known him for. Listen, you have people living amongst you, CIA agents next door to you. The bum that you see, even that sits outside the store, been out there for 20 years, he could be a CIA agent. You don't know. Yes, they live among us. And why am I saying this? There's double agents. There are, what's a guy's called? Blackwater agents and soldiers amongst us. There are super soldier cells amongst us. They are Russian. You would never know they're Russian. They are African. They are Chinese. They are non-US citizens. And they are amongst us. And they're activated when they need to be. Why am I saying, what do I mean? So you could be friend. When I'm saying these people knew him, those people who were standing in the back of him, they could have been his friends from high school. But from college, he didn't go to college, but they could have been his friends, and they still could have been agents, double agents. It's not just in the movies. This is real. All right. So with that said, peace and love. Sleeper cells for real. Yes, that's right. Peace to you. Zakoma. Peace to everybody. Who else is in here? Caleb. FS Drake, though. Let me see. Remember, he was. Let me try to share some of these before I get off here. Okay, let's see here. We got the Black Awakening. Russ Dizdar. Yes, thank you. What happened to Russ? What happened? Oh shoot! Did I show it? I just got to show all these. Peace, everybody. We're gonna do more talk about this. Google it. Oh, I know. We need to start talking about this more. Did you see the book published on the 9th on Amazon called The Shooting of... You gotta be... Stop it. Oh my gosh. Are you serious? I just got goosebumps. There's that 9-1. There's that 9 and that 1. Now, of course, the 1-1 is superior supreme. The 1-1 is the superior supreme. The 9 is saying the combination with the 9 and the 1. That's saying you are the one. You know, the one. It becomes the unit, the unified group. I mean, I'm not super into numerology like certain people, but I know about that 9 and that 3 and that 6 and that 11 and that 0. The other ones, you know, I dabble. 4, mercy. 5, the flesh and the indulgence of the flesh, the living man. 6. See, people think, oh, 6 is the carnal man. 6 is the risen man, the man who is the materialist, the man who says, I am the humanist, I am the God. That is the 6. However, when you get past the 6 to the 9, then we get into some more stuff. I don't want to go too deep with that. I want to stay on this Charlie Kirk stuff, but I got to look at that. I got to definitely look at that. It was released on the 9th, huh? Well, one thing's for sure is that, one thing for certain, 2 things for sure. Is that how you say it? Charlie Kirk was assassinated by an organized, very powerful group, allegedly. The other thing is that, because look what you even say right here, I didn't even know that. Another thing is that we need to not let ourselves be sucked into this trauma that they put on us yesterday or the day before yesterday. Don't get sucked into this trauma, because then you're weak. You've lost it. What do they need from us? Caleb is like my AI. What do they need? Let me see. What do they need to control us? They need a lot. But when they do that, when they show us things like what they keep showing us, what does that do? They need our fear, right? That trauma is for a control of the mind. That's why they have the MK Ultra programs, but it's not just MK Ultra. All of the programming, the Manchurian programming, every single bit of programming has a base of trauma. Yes, you heard me. All the mind control programming has a trauma base. When you look at the religious groups, those religious groups, they say, no, they come in, they love bomb. Well, yeah, they love bomb to drag you, to pull you in. But then what do? Traumatize you, put fear. Oh, God's going to kill you. Oh, if you even do this, you're going to be killed. The Most High is going to unalive you, or you're going to be left out in the dark and you're going to be alone. That's the fear. So every bit of programming is based on trauma. So they need our fear. Don't let them eat your fear. Let me see. Trauma and initiate. Wait, I can't see that. Are you saying initiation? I can't even read that. My screen. Oh, intation. I think you meant initiation. And if you did, you're absolutely right. Because what do they do in even in the fraternities, the hazing? Trauma. There you go. Trauma. Don't remember that movie. I know I sound a little silly, but there's so much truth in these movies, especially the childhood ones, especially Disney. He's one of those sea creature. He's one of those archae bacteria, those sucking vampiric sea creatures. He was. So remember that Disney movie, oh, come on, y'all. Monsters, Inc. Remember that? What did they need? They needed the children's fear. They ran their entire company on the screams and the terror of children. We are the children. We are the world. We are the children. We are the ones that make a better way. So let's start living. They say giving, though. But anyway, y'all, peace and love. Keep your mind on this. Do your research. Go. I keep saying it. It's just a vibration that's coming to me, the frequency. Keep looking at Robert F. Kennedy. Is it Robert F. Kennedy? I always want to say Robert F. Kennedy. Is it Robert? No, because it was John Fitzgerald Kennedy. I think it's just Robert Kennedy Jr. By the way, I was there when his father not his father, scratch that. I was there when his brother and his mother were in Aspen, and his brother crashed, and his brother, I think, was unalived. We were in Aspen. His brother allegedly crashed into a tree playing football. I was sitting right there. I was watching them play football while I talked to I forgot her name. God, is it Ellen? No. Come on. When I get off the live, I'll remember her name. But she was the wife, the widow of Robert Kennedy Sr. So his brother died New Year's Eve. I forget what it was. Was it 1998 or 1990? It was 1998, I think, or 97. But I was there in Colorado when his brother, they probably unalived him. Guess who else they unalived? Sonny Bono. He was potentially, he could have been a president. If you're not a part of the vampiric cabal, the baby eaters, you better run. You better get far away from them. Okay, they don't play. When people start loving you and you start picking up a very strong following, your life is in danger, white man. black man, but I'm saying white man because, people think, oh, the white man is protected. No, they're coming for you. And if Charles Kirk would have known this, he would have changed his tune, so to speak. He would have worked for the people. And the people are, let me say this. Oh, I'm glad I didn't get off this live. Make no mistake, slavery, the 400 years that the vampires made money off of, the exploitation and trafficking of human beings. I'm talking about the African so-called slave trade. That is the core and that built this entire country. Billions of dollars off of our blood, sweat, tears, sorrow, the graping of, the unaliving of, the torture of, the experimenting on of, the bombing of Black Wall Street. But let me go back to slavery. You can't tell us to move forward. We won't. Any black person out there listening to this who's a progeny of this of slaves, shame on you, or just be quiet, eat some popcorn, eat a sandwich, eat some peanut butter. I don't care. Glue your mouth shut, put some duct tape on there. We will not stop complaining about how we are not getting what are supposed to get. You can never erase what happened. But you're not going to tell us to just come on, move forward. And that's the problem. Charles Kirk, you were on the wrong side, my friend. Rest in peace. And now you see clearly the rain is gone, right? Well, you can come back, reincarnate and do the right thing. Work with us like John Brown did. You're not going to sit up and talk about there's no white privilege. Well, how do I say this? In a way, if you're talking in the context of his throat being opened wide up with a weapon or a projectile, I guess not. So the illusion is that we are all being fooled in some way. It's just coming quicker for the people who are the progeny of the slaves. It's just coming quicker in the hood. But you never would have thought the pretty successful, charismatic, vocal activist white man, you never would have thought that. I hope you white men are waking up. You thought that it was all about you, and some of you in the manosphere crying. I'm not talking about the incels. I'm talking about the ones like Charles Kirk. You're not safe. You better join with the people who built this country, the black people, the progeny of the slaves. We're always ready. We're always embracing you. Well, most of our ancestors were your nursemaids and your protectors, right? So I'm sure you understand how to get up under the cause, not up under us, get up under the cause and set things straight. Because a country that's been built on the blood and the fear and the unaliving and graping of a people is never ever going to be great. America has never been great. Rest in peace to Charles Kirk, but rest in peace to all the ones who came before him. The Martin Luther Kings, Malcolm X's, Medgar Evers, Dr. Khalid Muhammad, JFK, Robert F. Kennedy. I always say F. I don't think it's F. Robert Kennedy. And the list goes on and on and on and on and on. I know I probably left some people out. I'm sorry. Peace to the darkest minds of the light. Keep your eyes open. They are trying to play in our faces. We're not falling for it. Thank you.